Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I'm so glad you're joining us, because today, well, we are going on a botanical rescue mission. Look, if you've ever stood there just watching helplessly as a beautiful, vibrant houseplant slowly turns all crispy and sad, yeah, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're breaking down some brilliant insights from Great Garden on how to completely revive a dying peace lily. And honestly, the best part, we're gonna do the whole shebang using everyday household items you've probably got sitting in your kitchen right now. So let's just jump right in. Seriously, we've all been there, right? You buy this gorgeous plant, put it on your shelf, life gets a little crazy, and then suddenly you look over and see those dreaded brown, burned leaf tips. It is incredibly frustrating. You might even start thinking, well, I guess I just don't have a green thumb. But I promise you, this is a super common struggle. Those crispy edges, that's actually just your plant trying to talk to you. So here's our roadmap for the explainer. We'll start with the leaf burn problem, identify the 3 common culprits, do a prune and clean, mix up a DIY magic potion, move on to replanting and recovery, and finally look at those lush results. Section 1, the leaf burn problem, signs of distress. So before we can actually treat our little patient here, we really need to look closely at those physical signs of distress popping up on the leaves. I absolutely love this quote from our source material because, let's be real, it hits the nail right on the head. The host says, "The leaf tips had turned brown and showed signs of leaf burn because I was so busy I neglected this plant." Like, how relatable is that? It totally normalizes accidental neglect. We get busy, we forget to water, or maybe we overcompensate and drown the poor thing. And the result? Those ugly black tips and the yellow margins creeping up the leaves. But hey, feeling guilty isn't going to save our peace lily, so let's figure out the actual science behind what's going on. Section 2. 3 common culprits. Investigating the cause. All right, time to investigate the crime scene and find out what's literally killing these leaves. You know what's funny? A lot of times these culprits actually come from us trying to do the right thing. First up, we've got dry air or a lack of water. Peace lilies are tropical, right? They absolutely crave humidity. If your air is bone dry, those tips are going to scorch. Second culprit, over-fertilization. We tend to think more food equals a better plant, but nope. Too much fertilizer, or honestly, even just using hard tap water, causes these mineral salts to build up around the roots, and that essentially burns the leaf edges. But it's this third point that's the real silent killer. It's so commonly overlooked. A waterlogged, oxygen-deficient root system. To really understand why this happens, we need to look at how a lot of these potted plants are set up, often in what's called a semi-hydroponic system. Basically, this is a growing setup where the root system has to be exposed to both water and air at the exact same time to thrive. Now, peace lilies love moisture, for sure, but they aren't fully aquatic plants. They have to breathe. If the soil is just constantly soggy, the plant is literally drowning. It's all about striking a delicate balance. Think of it like this. On one side, you have the correct water level. The roots can drink the water, but they're also exposed to air, meaning they get the oxygen they need to actually absorb those nutrients. In that state, they're absolutely thriving. But on the flip side, look at the incorrect water level, where the roots are totally submerged. Without oxygen, their ability to pull in water and nutrients just plummets. The roots weaken, they get super stressed, and bam, that's exactly what triggers those black and yellow leaf margins we were talking about. The poor plant is literally suffocating in plain sight. Section 3, the prune and clean, a hands-on solution. Okay, here's where we shift gears from just diagnosing the problem to getting our hands dirty with an actual solution. First things first, we've got to stop the bleeding. Step 1 is trimming the dead weight. Take a pair of scissors, make sure you sterilize them with rubbing alcohol first, and just snip away all those brown, crispy parts. Why? Because otherwise, your plant is going to waste precious energy and water trying to save dead tissue. Pruning redirects all that good energy into the healthy leaves and new shoots. Plus, it really cuts down the risk of fungal disease. Now, once the plant is trimmed and pulled out of its pot, it's time to clean house. Step 2 uses a brilliant little household hack, baking soda. Over time, plant pots get coated in these really tough mineral deposits. But if you just add 1 tablespoon of baking soda to a liter of water right in the empty pot, you've got yourself a powerhouse cleaning solution. Step 3, just let that sit and disinfect for about 15 minutes, then give it a thorough rinse under the tap. You're left with a sparkling clean, well-ventilated pot that's totally ready for our recovering patient. Section 4, the DIY magic potion, kitchen alchemy. I'm not gonna lie, this is absolutely my favorite part of this explainer, because it's basically kitchen alchemy. We're turning everyday scraps into a powerhouse fertilizer. Here's how to whip up this incredible root-stimulating super drink. First, Grab 3 tablespoons of plain raw rice and blend it up into a fine powder. Rice is completely packed with starches and natural minerals that plants just go crazy for, and blending it makes it way easier to extract all that goodness. Next, pour 500 milliliters of hot water right over that rice powder to quickly release those starches. Let it steep for about an hour and then strain out the solids. What you're left with is a pure, nutrient-dense liquid. But wait, here comes the real secret ingredient for step 3, vitamin B1. Just take 3 vitamin B1 tablets and dissolve them straight into your rice water. Vitamin B1 is an absolute game changer for helping plants bounce back from environmental stress or the shock of repotting. Finally, step 4, just dilute this potent mix with 1 liter of clean, room temperature water. Section 5, replanting and recovery, bringing it together. So, we've got our clean pot, our freshly pruned plant, and our magic potion. Let's put it all together. Our first real step in the recovery phase is bottom watering. You're going to place the peace lily directly into that rice and B1 solution and just let the roots soak for about 15 to 20 minutes. This lets the root system soak up moisture and nutrients really gradually, which heavily stimulates fresh, healthy root growth. And hey, while it's soaking, don't just stand there. Grab a soft cotton pad, dip it into that same solution, and gently wipe down both sides of the leaves. Getting rid of that accumulated dust is a huge deal. It vastly improves the plant's ability to photosynthesize. And as a bonus, it gives the leaves this gorgeous, natural, healthy gloss. After the spot treatment, pop the plant back into its clean pot. But remember our lesson from earlier? We are only adding a moderate amount of clean water to the bottom. Do not submerge the whole root system. They need to breathe, remember. Finally, set your plant in a nice spot with bright, indirect light. Which brings us to a very, very important number, 3. 3 days. That is exactly how long you need to leave this plant completely alone. Just let it rest and stabilize. Keep it out of direct sunlight, and whatever you do, do not stick it near an AC unit or a drafty window. It's been through a major ordeal, so it desperately needs this 72-hour window in a super stable environment just to adjust before we do anything else. Section 6, the lush results. The visual payoff. The visual payoff. This is where our whole botanical rescue mission gets incredibly rewarding. Let's just track this transformation on our timeline here. Day 1 was all the heavy lifting, right? The pruning, the pot scrubbing, applying our custom rice and B1 potion. Then on day 3, once the plant has had its rest, we take the leftover potion, which, by the way, you can totally keep in the fridge for 3 to 5 days, and we start lightly misting the whole plant, stems and leaves included. This gives it that crucial external moisture, stops it from losing water, and keeps everything a nice, vibrant green. Now, fast forward to month 2 of keeping that water level just right and occasionally misting with our DIY solution, the changes are genuinely staggering. The new foliage is so much darker and denser. The leaves are glossy, they're sturdy, and honestly, if you've got the lighting dialed in, the flowers get a massive upgrade too. The stalks thicken up and the blooms are way bigger, a much brighter white, and they last so much longer. Seriously, we've taken a plant that was basically on its deathbed and brought it back to absolute vitality. It's amazing. So we've just seen how something as totally basic as baking soda, blended rice, and a couple of vitamins can completely reverse severe plant neglect. Honestly, it kind of changes how you look at the random stuff sitting in your pantry, doesn't it? So I want to leave you with this question. What ordinary kitchen ingredient will you try on your struggling plants next? Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and hey, happy growing!